Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. It's been like quite a bit, but we have quite the video here. It's not even an update, I guess. It's like a whole cumulative tour. Yeah, we've been working hard at this since the last video, and it's like 95% done, so that's basically good enough to show because the rest of it could go with tidying the whole map up or the whole island up as a whole. So we're not too worried about it, but here we're at whatever this building's called. I'm on a gargoyle, but I want to do it to like the cinematic, scenic entrance to Gotham Square, as you probably anticipated. So yeah, this is the place from, or it's supposed to be akin to the location from the Batman movie from 2022. Um, I mean, I don't know if it's actually called Gotham Square, but they have Gotham Square Garden, and then you know, the name Square itself kind of just connotates that it is like kind of an area of its own. So, but I wanted to make a below sea level part, so I just decided to accumulate all of the stuff from that movie into this one space, or like the very specific stuff that like got flooded and all that. So yeah, this is all below sea level. It was kind of a pain to set up, but everything else is pretty much fine. So yeah, we're here in the square at the Empire, which first thing I want to show. I changed the lettering to bright red instead of like orange, red, orange because, well, in the movie, I think there was a shot of it in the Penguin show too, but in the movie it's bright, dark red, and I thought about changing it for a while, but I just changed it because I feel like it's a lot more imposing now. But anyways, here's the square. We got quite a few new buildings, and this one that's hidden behind it. And we've been working at this, on and off for the last month and a half. And we spent a lot of time, even though it's not a whole like crazy amount. We took a lot of time into the designing and stuff. But here I'll start with this one because it's the closest and the most recent. This is supposed to be a bank building of sorts. I know it has a giant smokestack, but it's Gotham, so it'll have to do. But this is supposed to be I mean, I'll name it soon, but it's gonna be just a type of bank that's in the city. Um, it has these statues, and it looks a lot like GCPD because of the color palette. But I really did like I like using the new tough blocks with it, and I feel like um, it's a more realistic looking one, which I'll is something that I need every now and then. But yeah, there's just these two giant smokestacks on the side, just so it can give it that Gothamy feel, that Burton type esque feel. But these statues here are supposed to be like talons. Yeah, I try to make an owl face. It looks kind of weird. The beak looks weird. I like the eyes though, but yeah. So I basically there's three of them. I just wanted to make it like metaphorically show like the presence that the Court of Owls has throughout the city, and how like because this I want this to be like a more ancient building. That's why there's smokestacks, because it's like it's used to be powered by a giant furnace or something like that. So like that's why these old statues are here with the like symbolizing the deeper corruption that's been happening in the city since the very beginning. So yeah, here's the third one, and it's basically these talons are watching over the city no matter what. The court's always watching, and yeah, I just wanted to add more lore because it's a very fun one. There's an actual story going on here, and here's the roof. I wanted to do green, and I thought of copper, but I was thinking that it's a little too bright, so I did prismarine, dark prismarine. And then there's this window on the side, and then yeah. So this one was most recent. I just finished this one today, and I think it turned out nice. But um, yeah, going on to follow this road. I'll do this. Yeah, there's not enough cars, and the ground isn't really textured at all yet. And that's something that we'll just work on toward the end of the whole island, and we'll just apply this to like probably aspect of every district, and it'll take some time, but it'll be not as burdensome to have to get done to move on to the next thing. And same with the cars, but the cars are gonna be a little weird because it's diagonal road. So here is this giant building. Um, Actually, I'm gonna put this on hold really quick because I want to show you this part because this part's more interesting. So we have parking here. So obviously the arena's here. We covered that in the last video, and there's gonna be parking or like uh, it's inferred that there's gonna be parking like behind it over there. But since it's a giant place, basketball games and whatever, you're gonna need more parking. So of course there's gonna be more parking here, and then it leads you to this gas station first, which is I would like to say it's based off of Arkham Knight, but I didn't really use any pictures from it. I just thought tried like remembered what was going on, how like it looked like in my head, even though it's probably not how it looks like in the game. But I was thinking of like the style. That's why the gas sign too. I remember it says like literally like a circle oval like this, and it said gas. Yeah. So here's like the prices and stuff, and it's kind of small. There's 8 pumps and the fuel thing, and then a mini mart with nothing inside, and then the tunnel, which still doesn't lead anywhere yet. But yeah, a little planter too on the side. But I really like how it turned out. I think it complements it nice because we have no gas stations in the city at all. This is the first one. So yeah, here's the parking sign. So you're supposed to go down this alley, which is a one-way street. This whole area is a one-way street path, and um, yeah, I'll cover this afterwards. But so here we are. We have the supports for the train tracks, which I think turned out really nice. So here's the train tracks, and one goes through this building, which I'll go through, and then this one curves and it'll go to Grand Avenue. But this area is straight out of the Batman. At least it's trying to be. So here we have the Batman Batmobile, which I just pasted over here. I've had this one built by the Gotham Herald for a long time. But we have these train tracks, and then this is supposed to be the Iceberg Lounge from that movie. Obviously, there's nothing inside, but I made the lamppost where Falcone got shot, and then this wasn't even like intentional because at the time that I was making this part, I didn't even think about making this to be the Iceberg Lounge, but this could literally just be the apartment where Riddler shot him, where Riddler was, and I guess it just happened to work out perfectly. So yeah, but I love these supports that I made. They look really industrial, and it does fit the scene, like how it was in the movie. Um, yeah, before I go to this one, I want to cover the rest of this street. So yeah, there's this apartment building where I guess the Riddler could be, and then these are the two parking garages, or this would be an entrance and this would be an exit, and all of this is one way, and then this would just lead it somewhere into the building, maybe a building parking for this building specifically. But here is the other interesting thing, which also has no interior, sorry, but this is the Good Times Grocery from the movie too, and this is where the drophead thug, comes out of. That's where he robs the guy, and then he comes out here, and then he sees the bat signal, which it's kind of tight to see, but he sees the bat signal under the overpass thing, and I really wanted to recreate that as best as I could. So I mean, yeah, okay, if we go around here, maybe it's a little better. Yeah, but the Royal Hotel kind of just covers that bottom corner, and I can't do anything about it. But it works enough to where you could actually see the bat signal. So I wanted to recreate that scene where he's shaken by fear when he sees the bat signal right outside the store, and I was happy that at least it somewhat turned out well. So here's the rest of the overpass for the train station or the train track, and then it reconnects back to this central road. And I know this is kind of inconvenient because this would be the one way out. This would be a do not enter, and you'd have to go through this part again. But oh well, it's Gotham. It's not meant to be a very nice place. But yeah, so I'll go through with this building now because this is a behemoth. Um, my friend, who now we're just gonna refer to him as Anonymous, because he doesn't know what he wants to be called, but he also doesn't want to be on the video either. So, um, but yeah, he made this base building, and I built the whole surrounding outside base for him. So I started with the base, so I made this part, and then this part has stairs that lead to the actual entrance of his building, which is right here. But yeah, it's supposed to be it's a big facade that's supposed to have a bunch of buildings around it, or a bunch of different types of buildings. I mean, mostly they could probably just be apartments and offices, but yeah. So here's what I was talking about. I made this really textured, and I like it. It looks good. And there's some fans and pipes and wires and whatnot. Um, Here's another like window side, and then also this is textured. Um, so we're back at the Riddler place. Um, yeah, here there's these like industrial, I don't know, support design things, but they work. I made some HVAC for this one only. The whole entire area needs HVAC, but I only did it for this, the good times. But yeah, big old tubing stuff, pipes, and then electricity stuff and chimneys. And then this kind of looks like a factory, sort of, or a warehouse. There is an entrance. I was kind of thinking of like the Arkham Knight, what's it called? The firefighter missions, because there was like one where it's like in Drescher, and then you open these doors and go inside, and there's like an old part of the city, but um, kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, so I played with the styles for each of the individual facades, and because I wanted to make it look like something different, and then this big building would erupt out of the middle. But anyways, for the main attraction here, yeah, he made the whole thing by himself. Besides the roof, we'll talk about the roof when we get there. But yeah, he was really determined on this L shape when you look at it from the aerial view, and he sketched this all out, and then he planned it, and it turned out pretty good. Um, it's actually also tied for one of the tallest buildings, but it might as well be the biggest because it's probably the chunkiest. But so yeah, so we got up to here, and then this is where we started collaborating. And he had this roof design drawn up, and it was super like sophisticated. And we spent a good like 2 days just doing the roof, playing around with it, starting and stopping and redoing. And in the end, we came up with this, and it looks really, really cool. I feel like it looks really what's like um unconventional, I guess. And I don't know how to describe it, but in a way, we sort of fulfilled his original idea, but we also kind of. I feel like this might be better, but yeah, we have these like almost Asian looking spires at the end, and then it all convenes into this central point at the top, which is also at max height. But this, since it's like so much, it has so much more volume at this top, it kind of does make Gotham Empire look not as tall because Gotham Empire has a spire at the top. So when I saw it from the edge of the from like the bay, it looked a lot like something you'd see from like Arkham Origins or Arkham City in the backdrop, and I really messed with it, and it really made the square just have that giant urban feel. But yeah, so he made that the shape, and but then I added the accents such as like this triangle here on the corner, and then all the lights. Because the thing is that it's all black, and we really needed the lights. Because if there was no lights, there'd be no outline, and you could not see it from afar. Because it would just blend in with the sky. But yeah, that's his building. It's quite big, but we like it a lot, and we were really happy with how it turned out. Because it was kind of a daunting task to take on beforehand. But yeah, so we'll move on to this one. This is I made this one before he made this one, and this one's really just my Art Deco masterpiece thing. It looks a lot like, I mean, not really. It does borrow some like elements from the Chrysler Building, but I wouldn't say it's that similar. I really wanted to, well, it's symmetrical, obviously, but I wanted to make it like really asymmetrical by segment and kind of just on its own thing, but it all reconvened toward the end. And then I had to have this train track go through it because that's kind of a Gotham thing that has to be there. So yeah, this side is, well, it's like this, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but then this side is more simple, actually. But the windows are kind of minimized to the center for now, and then the sides are more just like design, or the corners are more just designs and lights and stuff. I added a lot of lights for the, like, because I usually don't put a lot of lights on the outside. I put like light blocks or something, but I added lights to be a part of the design. And in a way, it might look like windows, but it's also just there to kind of light up the building as a whole. But so yeah, I morphed this gray column section into this more uniform section. And then I borrowed the window design I had for the big, that black building over there with the Batman Returns one. And I borrowed this inner window design because I really like how that looked on that one. But I wanted to try it with this arch part. And I feel like it worked out very well. And then I added these long ledges, gargoyles. Well, they're more ledges. And that way Batman could just, watch over the city on both sides. But I really wanted to make them big and not too small. And then, so yeah, this part transforms into this part. I kind of missed this bottom part, but there's a sloping roof right there. And then, yeah, then I switched the orientation of it. So this arch part with the small windows shifted to this side, and then I changed the design for this side to minimize it a little more because it was closing in, so it'd be slightly smaller. But yeah, so then I changed it, and now it's this one, but the column design is slightly different too. And yeah, so then it all started to meet, and then it meets here at the top. And the top, I kind of just had no idea what I was doing, and then I just started building, and then I just went along with it, and I feel like it turned out pretty good. So we have this sloping, traditional roof design, and then there's this, like, big old party window light thing. I don't know how to describe it too well, but yeah, and then at the end, there's this, like, base thing. But I mean, like how in like King Kong when he's on top of the Empire State Building and he rips off the spire, and then there's the dome part. So this would kind of be like that, but it's a lot a lot bigger. If anything, this tiny piece would be like the dome. But yeah, then there's a spire. But I was really happy with how this turned out, and this was like probably one of my favorite buildings I've built in a very long time. And um, yeah, I think it complements the aesthetic of the other ones really well. So yeah, this building we covered in the last one. This building I believe was incomplete in the last video, but I think he like finished it really shortly after, also by Anonymous. So yeah, this one is actually a break in the style, which is interesting. It's more modern and more realistic than say, all of the other ones. But it kind of like what's the word? It like it does add that diversity to the, because otherwise it'd probably be something like this, more like with the Art Deco arches and stuff. And I feel like even though this one is more smooth and modern, it kind of would tell the story of like a changing Gotham in general. But in its essence and roots, it's gonna be all crazy and jangled up like this. But yeah. So the square has a bunch of like these pocket spaces, and I don't think we're gonna put any building, maybe smaller buildings like shacks and stores, but otherwise, this is supposed to be a square, and I wanted it to have a lot of walking room, so we might just make these like gang gang spots, mob spots, where we could like have a bunch of thugs and stuff, and like crimes in progress type of things. But yeah, we just need to texture the floors and all, and add more cars. Um, yeah, this area could use some more stuff too, but we're not too sure. Um, but other than that, we're probably gonna add a little more detail, but the square as a whole is done, and it took a long time. But we can finally move on to Grand Avenue now, and Grand Avenue is gonna be a lot bigger. But we have it all planned out, but it'll just still take some time. But um, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Let me make sure before I forget. Oh, I forgot one thing. Yeah, I got the Penguins Maserati here. It does not look like a Maserati, but if anyone knows how to build a purple Maserati, just let me know in the comments. But this is the Penguins car. This is where Vic would steal his wheels, or try to steal his wheels. But yeah. Hope you enjoyed this one. Sorry, it's been kind of a break in the usual usual schedule, but um, we took a lot of time on this, and I think it turned out really well. And it makes the skyline look all the more better. And we literally, yeah, we just have the Grand Avenue area left for the bulk of the island, and then after that we just need to detail the whole island up, and then we can finally move on to whatever's going to be going on here. But yeah, so here's the skyline now, and it looks incredible to me. That's actually my first time seeing it with the red lettering. But yeah, I wanted it to look like that shot at the end of the movie when Batman's narrating again, and then he's talking about like the National Guard and stuff, and then there's this overhead shot of like this peninsula-looking part with all these skyscrapers, and that was really what inspired how I wanted to do this. And I feel like we got this done pretty well. So yeah, the skyline of Miyagani Island is just growing, and it's coming together really well, and I'm really excited for what's to come behind it. So the skyline from this point of view, from the old Gotham point of view, inside Gotham, is essentially complete. So from Arkham, that area, the skyline from there just needs Grand Avenue, and we should be almost done. But thanks for sticking by and supporting the channel, and we hope you enjoyed. Once again, let us know if you have any suggestions on buildings or story ideas or just anything in general, and we'll take them into consideration. And we're always grateful for the comments, likes, and the subscriptions. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and bye-bye.